What's good, everybody? Look, y'all know who I am. I go by the name of Gabriel Ori, and this is my co-host.
What's up, y'all? JR, how y'all doing?
Man, old cool comment collected JR. So listen, I know on the last video, no, I made a mistake. I said that this was the last Friday, but not considering that we had one more Friday. So this is officially the last Friday of the year. And we all make mistakes, right? Y'all know we all make mistakes, but I'm clearing it up. This is the last Friday, so I hope you guys are ready. And then this is what we're gonna call a recap, a year recap video, where we kind of talk about the things of the year that happened to us personally. We don't have a special guest per se.
Us, we're special.
Yeah, we don't have an outside guest, but y'all don't really hear from us a lot. We don't really talk a lot. We kind of give interviews, for other people. We kind of give the platform where other people can kind of express who they are. So JR, man, how you doing, brother?
I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm grateful, man. Grateful for life, man. So much is going on this time, this hour, this season, man. Uh, I can't be more thankful than I am right now, man. God is good. So
It's another Friday, man.
yeah,
The very last one. Do y'all hear? I hear some. You hear some type of feedback?
no,
Okay, that must be me.
yeah,
Apologize. I apologize. Must be something I'm here. But yeah, man. The very last Friday. This year has been a year of revealing.
Ha.
Just kind of opening up. Revealing. Y'all share this video. I want you to tag everybody. You know how we like to do. Tag your cousins, tag your aunties, tag your nieces. Tag your brother, your sister, whoever. Because this is a platform. This is a show. We say it every time. It's called Ask a Producer. But it's not necessarily only speaking about music and music production. It's talking about producing whatever you produce in life, but we want to talk to producers, people, meaning you have to be not sitting on the sideline, but you got to kind of be actively doing something. You got to be actively producing something, and hopefully it's not chaos. Hopefully it's something that's going to help your community. It's going to help your immediate family. It's going to help you make the world, make your community a better place to be in. And we just like for people to share how they got there, to kind of share your journey, so um
That's actually a great topic.
what's that?
Your journey. How did you get to where you are now? Where did you start from?
Okay, so then I'll start off with myself. So I'm not gonna go all the way back, but I'm gonna just talk about this year. Is my son calling me? Hold on you know what, we're gonna do this live. Hold on. What's up, son?
Hey, Dad, where are you? Where are you?
I'm home. I'm actually on a pod right now.
God,
What's up? I got you live, man. We live right now. I told him to hold on. So you live right now on the pod. What's good? What's good?
I need a huge favor.
Hold on for a second. Let me take you off speaker. Make it quick. I'm on the pod. What's up?
I need you to come over real quick and help me get a couple boxes up to my apartment.
Can it wait for at least 20 minutes? Well, 30 minutes. Give me time to get there.
Yeah, it can wait because it's downstairs.
Uh yeah, I'll hit you when I'm done with this.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Two man in the truck.
Let's start there. So now y'all saw, yeah. So my son just called me. And the first thing he asked me, where are you? Now, where would I be? It's 7:30 right now tonight. Even though I know this goes on at 8. Right now, we're doing this. This is 7:30. I think I'll be home for the most part. But in fairness, he asked that because I am all around lately. But JR, so you said about the journey.
Yeah.
So let me start by saying where I am right now, and then how I got to where I am right now without going back to when I was a kid, type of thing.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it in this year since it's the yearly recap. So where I am right now is I am fully pursuing and on my journey with the gifts that God has given me. Some people call it the entrepreneurial uh, role or flow. That's where I am. Meaning, I no longer have a 9 to 5 job. That y'all use it. Yeah, I talk about it all the time. Um, but I am working the work that God has given me to do. I made a decision earlier this year. I left my 9 to 5 job after working there over 16 years. I left there because I believe that God called me off the job to do some other things that He wants me to do, for the kingdom that's going to greatly impact the kingdom overall. It's gonna do a few things, because I'm one of the person. I feel like, for me in my journey, I've been wanting to do this for the last 6 or 7 years, and that's leaving my job, having the courage to leave the job, something that's all I knew growing up. Of course, over time, I've gotten more educated. I say something like this, like all you know is what you've learned, meaning what you've learned up to the point to where you are. But what you've learned is not all there is to know. And that's a true statement, meaning many people are on different levels and different walks of life. This is my walk. This is me walking out in faith. This is a faith walk. So in faith, not in fear, because I've done the fear thing for a long time. So I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like. I know what that is because I've done that for so many years. But in faith, I decided to step away from what I was used to, step away from what some people call security, financially, and go on my journey and continue the journey that I was doing. And the reason why I stepped away, it gives me the time needed because what I'm doing is going to require, it's going to demand a lot of time from me. And the job was taking up a lot, like half that time. And so I could only do but so much. So I took the faith leap and I jumped. Now I'm still in the air falling.
So how did you feel when you took that first leap? Well, that initial step. How did you feel?
uh, I I felt a few different emotions. I felt like very proud of myself and very like, wow, like you actually did it, right? But at the same time, I felt like it was like a question, like, yo, you sure? Because you do have a 2-year-old daughter, you are married. It's
This
not
is
like
you
you're
by yourself.
single.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it's just me, right? So obviously I had to talk to my wife about this decision because that means when you leave a job you had for over 16 years and you making pretty decent money, I wasn't hurting, I wasn't complaining. And insurance and things like that, health insurance, and you got a kid and you got a family. Now, mind you, my wife was not working a full-time job because when she was pregnant and she had our daughter, I told her, hey, leave your job,
Mm.
stay home for a year with our daughter, and after that year, if you want to go back to work, you can go back to work. If you want to change careers, that's your time to change. But I wanted her to have this time, this bonding time with our daughter, and that was my main focus. How did I do that? I did that because my dad instilled a lot of things in his kids and
Mm.
in me. I had, we live in this house that we live in now, but I had another house that I was renting out. This is the thing that kind of I've learned, from my dad, from my family, and then from watching a ton of videos on the topic, how to gain wealth, and so how to be independent, and be financially free. So I had another house that I was renting out, and when the pandemic came, um, I sold it. I've done a lot of research, so I knew the time if I was going to sell it. I knew the time to sell so that I can keep all of my equity out of that house. I could pull it out 100% and keep it without getting the capital gains tax on it.
Wow. Wow.
So I got a nice 6-figure uh pull out of that house. And when I got the 6-figure pull, I told my wife, I'm going to pay you to stay home. I got your whole salary right here. Stay home. And so she stayed home. So we didn't have to worry about, anything. We had the money. I took a portion of that money and said, I want to invest in, camera gear. I want to invest in more, computers and just equipment to keep me. I knew what I needed because I've been researching for a long time. So
Yeah.
that's where I am,
Well,
and again,
I like that because the topic faith is so important to every believer, and oftentimes we get stuck in fear, and those two words are like the what's they're like heavyweights in the ring, and one you feed more is gonna win, right? Um, I know for us, I'm not gonna say everything, but this year has been like a faith walk for us, and it also, a little fear and doubt, crept in, but I would say we Jan and I we started our own business together, and things, she's a she gets excited a lot when she sees things. Sometimes it's over the edge, and oftentimes I would be like, well, I don't think we're there yet, but you know what? Let's just try it. Let's just try it and see. And so, like I said, we started our own business this year, and we stepped out on faith. And the Bible talks about what faith is: the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. So
right.
there's dreams that we had since since the beginning of our marriage, and you can't move forward unless you take a step.
Exactly.
And we did it. And of course, yeah, there's a little bit of doubt creeped in, but we trust God. And so God is the ultimate sustainer, protector, provider, and he guides us through the word. So we trust him. And the more we continue to do things in faith, the stronger our faith builds. And
Exactly.
I'm just glad that we did it together. And then, of course, our daughter, her middle name is Faith. And the reason why her middle name was Faith, because she was a preemie. And the doctor said that she may not come out as a normal child. She may be mentally retarded. And Yana could have died because her blood pressure was over 200 over something. And I never even worried. I was like, nah, this, I believe in God, I trust God. And so she's 9 years old. She's into acting. You would never thought she was a preemie. So that's where we are. Faith, man. It's always keep that. And I'm proud of you for taking that leap too, man. Because I'm on that same journey, just trying to make the right decision.
Hey, listen, bruh. So tonight, yeah, thank you, Holy Spirit. So thank you, JR. Faith is going to be this topic, right? So we on the faith. And even with doing this pod, this we remember we started the pod like in 2020, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just something to do, like, all right, yeah, because everybody was doing, you couldn't go anywhere. So everybody just turned into doing stuff like this. But I want to say something about that. I learned this from Dr. Miles Monroe, and just from like looking at people like my dad. And I like to observe people in different walks of life, or different pressures of life. I'll put it like that. Different challenges, because it really kind of shows who they really are, especially under pressure. And one thing that I've learned is that it seems, I'm going to use the air quotes, seems like the best creativity comes out under the hardest pressure. Like when your back is on the wall and you either gonna sink or swim. People start they do something, and next thing you know, they done created something that they never intended to,
Yeah.
or they discovered something
Yeah, I
that
was
they
yeah,
would
just about to say that. Yeah.
they wasn't really looking to discover, that they never knew they could do, or that they had in them, or the ideas flowed that they never knew
You
that.
never, you never know what's in you until the rubber meets the road. And so if you got all these gifts and you never use it, you won't know until something really pushes you to the edge. Like flying, like birds. Kick them out the nest. Next thing you know, hey.
I'll say it like this. I'll say it like the Bible says, right? In Genesis, he says, he tells Adam, right? The male, the man,
Yeah.
work. The word I'm going to use for work, the Greek word is called ergon, 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 right? In this term work, right? I've learned that working is a great thing for all humans, right? Because when you work, then the potential that's in you comes out. If you don't work, you never know what you can do, right? And
Yeah.
now let's get back to the word work. And we talking about faith.
Yeah.
Work is not the work that we think it is, like a slave, like a slave, and somebody's
Yeah.
on your back whipping you. Boy, you pick the not
Your
that
job.
type, right? Not that type, not like that hard, toilsome pressure. Not that. I am talking about working the gifts that he put inside, working it out. So then it's no longer potential, right? So like JR, like when we come to the studio, if we're recording right with an artist,
Yeah.
if I'm doing the prayer, right, before, because we usually pray before we start,
Yeah.
I always say, or I always try to make it my business to say, Lord, let this session go accordingly, right? Let what they have in them come out, so that it's no longer potential. Let the potential that's there to sing this song, or to rap, or to whatever you're doing, let it no longer be potential. Why? Because we WORK. We
Yeah.
worked it out. So
Work.
that's the work I'm talking about. That's what I mean when I say work. So working out everything God put in. And this year, like you said, JR, like I'm working out the faith, because everybody got a level of it, right? Not everybody got at least a mustard seed.
Yeah.
Some people might have a bigger level with, where for us on the lower level, we might be like, yo, that's crazy. Like, you did what? Yeah, I sold it all. And we can't see, right, what's going on. But then down the line, you can see the manifestation of their faith in action, right? Faith working. So yeah, man. That's what this year has been. That's what this year is, and I'm like you said, man, is the doubt still there? Yeah, of course it is.
We're human.
We're human, of course, because like you said, JR, faith is the substance of things we hope for, but we don't see it yet.
Don't see it, because you got to keep walking towards it. That's
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
We see it, but there is not a scene where everybody can see. Like, I'm looking at this camera, or I'm looking at this mic, right? We don't see it. We see it in our heads.
Yeah.
Just like I saw my wife. I saw my finished wife in my head. But the material that I married
still working.
See, I'm working the wife that I saw out, baby. You got it. Come on out. Go ahead.
My bad. Speaking of seeing, I mean, to tie it back into, us with our music production, before we even met, we saw something.
Right.
We saw recording. We saw trying to work with somebody, but we didn't see the person. But how we connected was with a vision. And then when we connected, we had a vision, and we connected our own vision together to come up with our own production company. And we work the faith. We worked the company. We're working towards what we see. It ain't just right now where we are in our homes or whatever, but what we see is far beyond, that keeps us going to get to where we're trying to go to. So if you're hoping for that, hope keeps you going.
I was going to say,
keep hope alive.
Because when you get to the destination, where else is there to go?
There's nowhere else to go.
Like, stop. So let's extend what you're saying. So you saying, so back in, we met in 2008 or somewhere around that time. 2007, right? And you was on the organ, and at that time I was there with another buddy of mine, like, and we was playing for service.
Yeah.
And met you. Fast forward, when I found out that you was in the studio, like you was into doing studio work and recording and stuff like that, production.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I'm heavily passionate in that, right? And so we brought that together, and then Timeless Sounds came out of that. All right, I'm going somewhere. Timeless Sounds came out of that. All right, we didn't know where the destination was, right? Like where we going with this? We just knew, hey, you do this, you like it, I do it, I like it. Let's record people, man. So we started doing that, and then it became like a pseudo destination. Like, yeah, we're going to be a production company, and we're going to record a lot of artists. And our goal at the time was we're going to record artists that's famous, and that we can whatever. Now in my head, I'm like, no, we're going to make artists that we record famous. Oh, let me take that. That's the bigger picture. But check it from that back in 2007 when we met, 2008 or 2009 when Timeless Sounds was born, right? When the company was born. Now, what came out of that we didn't see? But this is what you said: keep hope alive and keep something happening. What happened? Videos crept in.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Timeless Media.
Oh, that's right. We started that this year.
We started Timeless Media this year, right? Because that came. Why? One of us had a passion to do something, and we drugged up. Hey, come on in this. Look. You see what I'm saying? Like, it created another way to put on some goggles and look over here. Hey, this is not going to affect what we're doing right now with Timeless Sounds. This is just going to extend us and give us a vision to the sound. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we're working, and we don't know everywhere, we don't know the end or the destination. We're just enjoying the journey right now. And it's fun to grow and learn, We know the immediate goals, hey man, a year from now, and speaking of that, I want to throw this in. We're like 21 minutes or so into it, or 22 minutes. Should we do a break tonight?
Yeah, we can break and come back, and let's advertise.
Okay, so listen, we'll be right back after this break. After this break, we're going to talk about what y'all just saw. After the break, we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we are on what we call a break, but guess what? This is the perfect opportunity for you as a business, as a brand, as a company, to advertise. And so we want you to consider advertising with us, here at Ask a Producer. Doing this segment, we get a lot of eyeballs, on our podcast, and God has opened up that door for us. So we want to open up and extend an opportunity for you and your business to advertise with us. We only charge $25 to advertise with us, and that's of course if your advertisement is completed, but we also offer the services of doing it for you for an extra fee. So if you want to advertise with us, it's $25. Take opportunity, take the chance, because no one knows who you are. No one knows your business unless you put it out there. And putting it out there is called advertising or promoting what you have. So even if you have an event that's coming up in a future date, and you want to use our platform to do it, we invite you to do that. So send us an email if you would like to do it at contact at timeless-sounds.com. Again, contact at timeless-sounds.com, or just copy the email that you see right now, and we'll be happy to get your promotions out for you. Get it in front of some people, and make your next client your best client. All right, so listen, let's get back to the pod. And we're back. So listen, I know that y'all saw, a few things that we do. And listen, when we do things, we try to do things in a spirit of excellence. It just means that we try to do it to the best of our ability. We try to prepare, you know, because you have to prepare if you want to. You have to plan, you have to
Yeah.
organize, plan, have a plan, and then prepare, you know, for that, and then you work the plan that you have. Um, and shoot, I think a lot of times for me personally, the thing that held me back is not shooting. Throw it out there, man. Push it out. Let people know. It's like when you don't do that, because of whatever reason, I don't know if it's fear or if it's like I just got to get a little better first or whatever it is, man, that's holding you back.
Yeah.
Nobody starts off perfect.
That is true. That's, I guess we're on the same boat, because oftentimes I criticize myself or critique myself too hard, thinking, I put it this way: you see different people who may be less experienced than you are, and they just doing it without no fear. Like me, I'm like so a perfectionist. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make myself look bad in front of public, an audience or whatever, because I don't feel like I'm not prepared. But like you said, man, just do it. You just never know if you
Listen,
just keep
so
keep
I like this. Go ahead, go ahead.
if you keep doubting or thinking too much. So
So,
yeah,
so what you're so this little segment we're gonna call the perfection segment. You see it right there? You see it? Perfection. Okay. So you me and you are like JR,
mm,
because I too limit what I can do or limit showing people what I can do because of kind of what you said. Like, oh man, you know, I want to make sure that I don't mess up or make a mistake. Well, listen, you're gonna make a mistake. You will mess up,
oh
right?
yeah,
But it's not messing up is not the thing, right? It's getting up and carrying, you know, continuing on.
mhm,
Everybody messes up. Everybody makes mistake. But you know what it is? It's not the mess up or the mistake. It's the power you give the other people in their
yeah,
opinions over your mistake or if you messed up or whatever
right,
you're doing, right?
right,
This the fear, right? That man, they're gonna laugh at me, or man, oh, they're gonna think, boy, this dude ain't such and such and such. And so for that fear, you don't do it. You
right.
just you sit back, right? You don't do it, and then you watch everyone else, like you said, Jared, less experience, less boom, shooting off, going. They got the pedal to the metal, right?
No fear.
No fear. So it's like, okay, if the Bible says God has not given you that spirit,
Mm,
then who gave you that spirit?
you know who it is. If it ain't God,
If God has never give, He's not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, right?
sound mind.
Power of might of a sound mind, right?
Mm,
Um, that means if you allow others' opinions about you to stop you from doing what you could do, then you're giving them power. You're giving them that control over you, and they dictate what you do and what you don't do. Listen,
mm.
man, I graduated a little while ago from that class of caring what anybody else thought about me. I don't care. Think what you think. Hey, life goes on. I'm still going to be me. I'm going to still do it because it doesn't take one iota of anything away from me because you might think, oh man, what you did was weak, or oh man, I could have do it much better. Okay, we'll do it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Just
And
do it.
and then it brings us to another segment, competition.
Don't compare. I heard this morning listening to Myron Golden. We God did not give us, no, he said we need to get rid of the shoulda. We need to get rid of the shoulda, and we should have, and we need to stop comparing, because that's nothing but the enemy that's trying to make you put fear in your thoughts, or doubt in your thoughts, because you're not good like this person. God made you to be who you supposed to be, not like this person. Everybody got a different DNA. And
Yeah.
so if we compare ourselves, we're going to continuously allow others to progress while we sitting there thinking, man, I, I don't sound like this person, or I'm not as good as this person. But you're good as you want to be, until you no, you're good as you want to be if you continue to go the same path you're supposed to be going, or focus on, or whatever. Um,
Mhm.
But we shouldn't be comparing to nobody, man, because that's nothing but a handicap. Well, I won't say handicap. That's just a blockage from the enemy.
Listen, man. Uh, you definitely should not compare yourself to anyone else. If you want to have a measure to look at, measure yourself
From
from
the
your
past.
past self,
Yeah.
right? To see if you're
How far you?
growing,
Yeah.
right? Did I get better? Am I better today than I was yesterday? Right? Was that a text from Michelle this morning to say, "Hey, so, it's happy Tuesday. Hope it
Yeah,
make
that
it
was
better
nice.
than last Tuesday." Yeah. Am
That
I
was
better? Am I doing more? Am I doing better than I did last week? You see what I'm saying? And then the other danger is, like you said, JR, when you compare yourself to other people, uh, it's so many things that come to my mind. But one of the first things that come to my mind is this, like you see that?
yeah.
It, my point is that fingerprint that you saw, no one else has that.
No one.
I'm the only one. You are the only one that can be authentically you. So, in other words, I don't care how good you get to sound like or to be like someone else, you will never be the 100% an original. You always be a carbon copy.
Yeah.
That takes your value down,
Hmm.
right? But if you are the only one that can do what you do, that means there's no one else like you. That means you are operating at 100% of how God made you. So to put that into an example, right? A real simple example. Let's say you have two people and they play with let's just say an instrument, keys, right? They both play keys. However, the one that plays keys, both of them should be a little bit different in little small nuances on how they may approach a song or how they may play a song, right? Because that's no one has the exact same brain. So we're automatically different, and we need to embrace, accept yourself for who you are, right? And then understand the different levels. You don't know what a person does, right, when you don't see them. They
Exactly.
might be working. What I'm saying is like studying their gift, craft, practicing, doing stuff when other people are sleeping, so
Right.
that when they up and now when they're serving their gift to the masses, you see what it looks like, but you don't know what they are doing to get to that point.
Right.
So
And
I'm not saying not to compare. So I'm saying not to compare, but I definitely would say to aspire, like, and then go ask questions. Man,
God,
how did you get to this? Like that's why this podcast is. How did you get to that level? Well, this is what I did on the times, when people don't see me publicly. This is what I do. This is my routine. On Monday morning at this time, I'm up. Oh, you get up that early? You see what I'm saying? You don't know what a person's doing. So you
think
can't
about
compare.
think about MJ, Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
This man is I just put him at the top of the elite person who puts in work to get him to where he is as the greatest of all time. I
mm,
mean, a lot of NBA players are great, but there is a particular way of certain people to become this elite person. It's the time that they put in behind the scenes. If you don't put time in behind the scenes, you can't get to where you're trying to go to. And that's like with us, I have to go back to the time when we first was getting started with Timeless, and and one night you stayed in my house and you was in the studio.
I was in there all night.
Hey, I think because we had to go to work the next morning. I think you was
I
still in there
didn't
about
care.
5 or 6. I was like, man, I'm going to bed, man. But the thing is, we put in work, and you know, and when you want to compare something, compare what you did last year, 10 years ago, and some things like with the production, I don't even like listening to what I did last year, but it's good to listen to it to see
Growth.
where you are now,
All right.
and we've grown a whole lot from where we started, and not just with our gifts, but with equipment, because of the work that we had to put towards the faith that what we believe in. So it's what you do continuously will get you to where you want to be, as long as you
Exactly.
don't stop.
And I'll say this, I add, um, when it comes to something like music or just say anything,
Mhm.
everything, well, I'll be loose when I say this. Let's go back to music. Is subjective. And what I mean by that, like you said, hey, Michael Jordan is the greatest, the GOAT, right? Greatest of all times. Well, even that is subjective,
Mhm.
right? What I mean by that is I believe that everyone can be great.
Everyone can be. Yes. Yeah.
Everyone can be great. And here's what I mean. If you put out, right, all of your efforts, right, everything that God put in you to become the you that God created you to become, if you achieve that, then you're great.
Mm.
It doesn't, you don't have to look at numbers like, man, but I'm not number one. Who told you that? Who told you wasn't number one? Who told you wasn't the top dog? Right. And see, we live in a society that is like, yo, if you number two, then you like a loser, because it's only one number one. Yo, a part of my thing is gonna kind of be, I don't care how you feel about it, and everybody got to be, hey, I feel like I'm number one. I feel like he's number one. I feel like she's number one in their domain, because I feel like everyone has a sphere of influence. Everyone has a domain that they can operate in and be the best at.
But guess what? We all the number one if we walking with the number one person, the number one, which is Yahweh, the God,
Yeah.
the creator, the person created you. If you connected with him, you are number one because you are unique in your own
Right.
way, in your own way of doing things. Only you can be that number one. So you
Exactly.
are number one, but you have to work it.
But see, so then now that takes us to systems. So see, the system, there are many systems out there, and
Yeah.
the reason why we don't feel like we're number one and we got to chase this person, and guess what, step on their necks, do all types of dirty things to kind of bring them down so you can shine and you can be up. That's a system that you're under, meaning you're under the influence of this system that makes you operate the way that you operate. And so we need, well, I'm gonna keep it general and open. The way that I try to flow, I try to get out of systems, right, of worldly ways of doing things. I'm not saying that I'm against systems. I'm definitely with systems. There's different systems that you can put in place to be impactful. I don't like the dirty systems, the one that kind of undercuts the other person to get on top.
Cheater.
Or to, in your mind or perception that this person is on top, because you
Right.
got some of the richest people, that's some of the loneliest, and some of the most brokenness, so I try to make myself, or I see to it that I operate in the system that the manufacturer manufactured for us as humans, if you believe that, right? So because I do, I put myself in that, and it gives me a lot of peace. It gives me a lot of just relax, be calm, because when the world is going crazy and it looks like it's chaos, right? Calm down.
Sound mind.
Yeah,
Sound mind.
sound mind, because you're gonna need to think, right? Because God gave you a brain. The manufacturer gave you a system, right, to be able to work things out, to think, right? And the things that's too big for you, well, he has another system where you go and talk to the manufacturer. It's a way to do that and
Hello.
ask for help.
Yeah.
And you don't have to yell. You don't have to get crazy.
You don't need
You
a phone line.
just talk. So
Yeah.
yeah, so go ahead.
No, I'm good.
So
I
yeah,
got. Yeah.
we
Go ahead.
we're recapping, this entire year. How was the year for you guys? Just drop it in the comments. What was something this year you think helped propelled you to where you are now? Because there's a new year coming. We're almost there, couple days away, right? So, and what's some of your plans for the New Year's? What's some of your plans for this next year coming up, Jr.?
Wow. It's a lot. I mean, recording. Got
Mm,
several things that's coming with that. Building out my wife and I business. Um, Travel a little bit more,
yeah.
and taking another leap of faith, but I'll just keep it at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Me, same thing. Me and my wife, me and my family, we like to come up with words for the year. Um, so like this year, or last year, we came up with some words. Commitment was one word, and um, was it responsibility or um, I can't remember the other word. It was two words. Like she came up with one, I came up with the other one, and we're doing the same thing for next year. And we put these words on the refrigerator so we can see it every day,
Mm.
and we got it. Where we can always have that on our minds. All right, I'm committed to this process to get this result. Next year is gonna be a big year, bro.
Wow.
Big year, man. A lot of things in the works, a lot of things that I've been working on this year, and again, I'm looking at myself this year and just kind of looking back at the year. I'm proud of myself, man. I took that leap. It was a scary step. A lot of people was like, man, yo, you sure you want to do that? But my mind was made up because believe it or not, that was in my plan 5 years earlier.
Yeah. Was.
I had that in my plan, leave the job this particular time.
Wow.
And that was the hardest thing that I probably had to do, but I stuck to it. And I guess what? On that list, I was like, ch-ch. So now that list is in the trash and I got another whole new list to do. So listen, man, we enjoyed, just this recap. JR, you anything else you wanted to say
Yeah,
before we wrap this?
I want to leave the audience with this since we talked about faith. It's a story. I don't know who told this story, but I like it. So it was this eagle hanging out with turkeys all his life, right? And it was so amazed. Actually, he was hanging around his buddies, the turkeys, and he was so amazed how this other turkey he saw, not turkey, eagle, just soaring in the air, flying, just doing all this thing and flying. He was like, wow, I want to fly like that. And the turkey said, man, be quiet. You're not no eagle. You can't fly like that. Nah, he don't even know who he is. He's an eagle, right? So one day, he goes up to this hill and he saw the eagle just sitting there, prepping his wings, just cleaning itself off or whatever. And he was like, wow, how do you get to fly like that or whatever? And the eagle said, you can do it. You're an eagle too. You can fly as well, just like me. You can do it. And so the eagle was like, really? So the eagle goes back down to the turkeys and told them, one day I'm gonna fly like that. I'm gonna try to fly. And they just laughed at him and whatever. So one day the eagle went up there and he went up, flapped his wings, went up there and started flying. He came back down and was like, see, I told you guys I can fly. And so, but the point of that is you don't allow people who don't really know who you are. They tell you something else to convince you that you're something else, but you know who you are. You just got to step out from the crowd and do what you are created to do. So
that might be the dilemma right there, JR.
what's the dilemma?
People don't know who they are. That's the part. See,
Wow.
you're really a lion, but you've been hanging out with sheep so long, you like the sheeps.
Wow.
You getting led, right? They're leading you right to the destruction, like a sheep, because the sheep needs to. So my point is, it's the same point that JR is saying. So I'll say it this way: the late great Dr. Miles Monroe said it like this: an army of lions, if it's led by a sheep, will always be defeated by an army of sheep if it's led by a lion. And what it means is the same thing you're saying with the turkey and the eagle, right? Meaning, if you're gonna group up together, right, and you as a sheep, right, you're a sheep, right? You need a shepherd. But if the lion is your leader, and the lion fears nothing,
Yeah.
then you as sheep, right? An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions if it's led by a sheep. So, meaning it's the mentality. It's your mentality. You know, you ever thought why the lions are considered the king of the jungle or the animal kingdom? Mentality. Because the lion's not the strongest, the lion's not the biggest, the lion's not the heaviest, the lion's not the smartest, the lion doesn't have the strongest bite, you know, the lion's not the fastest, not the tallest, but the lion is the only animal that has this one mentality. The lion can see an elephant and just think, this is a good lunch. I can eat this. I can eat this. I wonder how you think. What you gonna think about next year, you know? Are you the lion or are you the sheep? Mentality.
Go eat.
It's lunchtime. And on that note, this is Gabriel Ori from Ask a Producer. This is my co-host,
JR.
Hey, listen, man, we hope y'all got something from this. Y'all have a happy new year. You know, shout out to JR. Shout out to y'all families. You know, y'all enjoy the rest of this one. We'll see y'all in the next year.